Remember when 1.16 was the latest version of Minecraft, and then they announced the cave update, which made everybody praise Mojang, saying how they were the best game dev company on earth, saying how they always listen to their community and they're so good? Yeah, what the fuck happened? It seems that in recent years, the public opinion of Mojang has shifted quite dramatically. And especially with the Stop the Mob boat stuff we saw earlier this October, I feel like it's kind of a good time to talk about this now. So here's the question. When did Mojang get so hated? In order to answer this, we're gonna need to take a little bit of a history lesson. Now, everybody knows about Minecraft 1.9, the combat update, which probably is the most hated update in this game's history. Now, sure, it was one of the first instances of the community just hating Mojang. However, I'm not really gonna talk about it right now, because it's not really that important in determining why they're so hated today. Because our journey doesn't actually start in Minecraft 1.9, it actually starts in Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite. Just hear me out, okay? The year is 2019 and Fortnite has reached its 10th season, Season X. Now, Fortnite at the time was experiencing some big problems that you can honestly argue that they're still facing today. One of these is being the fact that the skill gap between newer players and really good ones was just getting way bigger, meaning that new or average players who just want to have a fun time would just get absolutely hit on by someone who was born in 2015. Now, to solve this, Epic Games, the developer of Fortnite, decided to add a thing called mechs into the game. And it was the most outrageous thing they have ever added to this day. These mechs were insanely overpowered, allowing even the worst of noobs to get a win easily. There was almost no counterplay against it, and many people just decided to stop playing because they were just frustrated with everything. And along with many other changes that were received pretty poorly, the game that was on top of the world for so long just fell off that peak. So then PewDiePie, one of the most biggest YouTubers at the time, decided to make a Minecraft video, and it blew up. Now suddenly everyone, including all the old Fortnite YouTubers who were frustrated with the game, decided to start playing Minecraft all of a sudden. And along with that, the older Minecraft YouTubers who had now moved on to bigger things decided to come back as well. It was honestly a great time for Mojang, a huge player count, which honestly I don't think would have been that huge if Fortnite hadn't been doing all that bad stuff earlier. So that's our start. Mojang now has the praise and appreciation from the community. Now, let's go through all the events that caused all of this. In 2020, a new generation of content creators arrived on the Minecraft scene, and with it, the update, which many people consider to be the greatest in Minecraft's history, arrived. That update was the 1.16 Nether update. It was honestly the biggest update in Minecraft's history, and it was super well received. People loved Mojang. Now, around this time, Minecraft was doing its annual mob votes, and as these went on, they sort of got more and more controversial. If you want more of a detailed rundown of what happened, you can go check out this video right here. But after this one, don't go, please. Now, here's where things just start getting pretty icky. Now, in 2021, with the hype of 1.16, Mojang announced the Caves and Cliffs update, which somehow had more hype than before. And it was split into two parts because it was just too big to fit into one update. And surprisingly, most people didn't really care. They were actually pretty supportive. It wasn't until the Warden and the Deep Dark, a hyped up feature that was announced, was delayed until the next update, so 1.19, which was okay, but you can start to see the growing pains that Mojang was starting to develop. So when 1.19 was announced, it was advertised as the Wild update. Now, a lot of people were pretty excited for this update. There was a lot of stuff that was gonna be added, including the Deep Dark as mentioned before, the Warden, Fireflies, new biomes, copper horns, the list goes on and on. From the way it was advertised, the Wild update seemed like it was designed to revamp the overworld, hence the name Wild update. However, things got really bad, like really bad, because for various reasons, multiple features that were announced were just scrapped. Some were given explanations, others just given none. This pretty much left the community pretty upset. Instead of the Wild update, some called it the Mild update, and others called it Caves and Cliffs Part 3. Now, with all of this, you'd think Mojang would try to, avoid angering the community even more in order to avoid a situation like this in the future. Nah. Because when 1.19 was released, it added a chat reporting feature into the game, which for a game like Minecraft does not fit at all. And with it, the community's trust with Mojang just started getting worse and worse. And then it got even worse, because then Mojang required all users to migrate their Mojang accounts into Microsoft ones, which was a complete disaster because many people just didn't have their things at all. They didn't have their old emails, which were probably made like 10 years ago. They didn't have their old passwords, and it was just a mess, alright? And then it got even worse. New EULA changes were made, which were extremely vague, which just pissed off the community even more. And as change after change after change happens, the calm, kind, and understanding community that Minecraft used to have was no more. Which brings us to today, or I guess a month ago from today, when Mob Vote 2023 happened. Once again, I already touched on this topic in this video right here, but if you just want a basic rundown, people protested because they didn't like Mojang's handling of the mob vote. And they made propaganda posters and it was just not good. And yeah, that's pretty much how Mojang went from one of the most beloved companies on earth to one of the most hated. Now, there's a lot of exceptions to this, I know a lot of people who love Mojang and love the things that they do. In fact, I'm probably one of them. However, a lot don't. So how did Mojang get this way? From a lot of poor decisions. That's honestly what it honestly comes down to. Some were in their control and others weren't. And with the community in this state, I'm kind of worried. With 1.20 being received as a mediocre update, 1.21 needs to be really good. If there are any more mistakes, people aren't going to just let it slide anymore, which it's honestly a shitty situation for a developer to be in. I doubt they go into the studio every day and say to themselves, oh boy, I hope I make something horrible today. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I'm sure there are people who just have a passion for making games and want the game to be the best as they can. But honestly, from the things that I have seen from the new update, it seems like it's going to be pretty good, because almost everything they announced was really good and really well received. And if this one's good, imagine how good 1.21 could be. Now look, I'll always love Mojang for the game that they created, alright? It's still good. It's still a really good game. One of the best games out there to play. Without them, we wouldn't have had any of the good memories that we've had with the game. We wouldn't have built houses with our friends, participated in raids on fortresses with them, dying of laughter every time one of them got sniped by a blaze that was like 50 meters away. I believe Mojang will do better. They've proven many times that they can. There was no employee shift. All the old employees are probably still working on the game. They can do it. Because if a single company with less employees than most AAA games can create a game this special, then imagine what they could do next with it.